Gwen Stacy is one of the most popular characters from Spider-Man comics. She's Peter's friend and eventually his love interest. Over time, the tendency for the wives and girlfriends of male superheroes to meet grim fates was referred to as the Gwen Stacy Syndrome by the Comics Buyer's Guide. Prior to the release of this story arc, it was not considered common for major members of a superhero supporting cast to be killed. As a result, The Night Gwen Stacy Died is widely regarded as the most pivotal Spider-Man story outside of his origin and one of the most important comics of all time. Its release is widely said to have ended the Silver Age of comic books and jump-started the Bronze Age. Gwen's death and the story at large had a major impact on the Marvel brand, as it directly led to increased emphasis on Luke Cage and Mary Jane Watson, the creation of Punisher, and Green Goblin's status as Spider-Man's arch-nemesis in alternate media. This story arc takes place in the issues 121 and 122 in the Amazing Spider-Man comics released in 1973. Prior to this arc, Norman Osborn had been the Green Goblin, but due to amnesia, he had suspended his identity as the supervillain and forgotten that the Spider-Man is Peter Parker. Also, Harry Osborn, Parker's best friend and Norman's son, became an addict and was sequestered in the Osborn home for detoxification. Norman's parental grief, combined with financial pressure, triggered a breakdown resulting in Norman Osborn remembering his goblin identity and again targeting Spider-Man and his loved ones for misery. The Green Goblin kidnaps Gwen Stacy, Peter's then-girlfriend, and lures him to the Brooklyn Bridge. Spider-Man and the Goblin clash, and the Goblin hurls Gwen off the tower. Spider-Man shoots a web strand at her legs and catches her. As he pulls her up, he thinks he has saved her, however quickly he realizes she is dead. Unsure about the reason that killed Gwen, Peter blames himself for the death. The Green Goblin escapes, and Spider-Man cries over Gwen's corpse and swears revenge. In the subsequent issue, the Green Goblin gets impaled by his own glider when he attempts to kill Spider-Man. Behind the scenes, inker John Romita and Amazing Spider-Man writer Jerry Conway were initially asked by the editors to kill off Aunt May. They disagreed with killing Aunt May, opining that if she were to die, Peter would not have to worry about her anymore and be no longer treated as a child again, thus deciding to kill either Mary Jane Watson or Gwen Stacy. Romita proposed to kill the latter, as the former served as a comical character at the time. Stan Lee, co-creator of both Spider-Man and Gwen Stacy, was consulted by Conway, editor Roy Thomas, and Romita about killing Gwen Stacy. When asked about how he accepted the decision, Lee said,
"This is a very sore subject with me. I had created Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane, and I wanted to have fun with them as the series went along, where Peter Parker would think he was in love with one and he'd think he's in love with the other, and I thought that would be interesting as we went along. One day I had to go to London on business for some reason, and I didn't have time to write the book, so I told Jerry Conway, who was one of our better writers, I said, "Would you write Spider-Man for me for a while?" I came back to the United States and I found out he had killed Gwen Stacy. I almost killed Jerry Conway.
Conversely, Romita recalls that Lee was already out of the country when the decision was made and that they took time to talk to him into it. Yet, Lee remained very upset. The cause of death. The comic features a snap sound effect next to Gwen Stacy's head in the panel in which Spider-Man's webbing catches her. In the Amazing Spider-Man edition 125, released in October 1973, Marvel Comics editor Roy Thomas wrote in the letters column that it saddens us to have to say that the whiplash effect she underwent when Spidey's webbing stopped her so suddenly was, in fact, what killed her. In short, it was impossible for Peter to save her. He couldn't have swung down in time. The action he did take resulted in her death. If he had done nothing, she still would certainly have perished. There was no way out. In the 1987 edition of the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, Gwen's death is attributed to the fall, not to Spider-Man's webbing. In the 4th issue of Marvels, it was reported that she died from the shock of the fall. However, Phil, a photographer and witness, is unsure about exactly what kills her. This storyline was further used in different comic and live-action projects of the Marvel Universe. This I will discuss in the next video.